Okay, here we are in game 2. Now we've swapped civs, and now we have Mbl and Lyx playing as the Celts in Spanish, and Mattheus and Timotheus playing as the Mayans and the Huns. And of course, we also have Mbl changing his color. Definitely an improvement going from purple to the cyan. He'll be playing in the top right as the Celts, with Lyx as the Spanish in the bottom. And we have Mattheus playing in the red as the Huns on the left of the map. And where did his scout go? There we are. And Timotheus playing in the yellow as the Mayans at the top of the map because the eagle. We'll see if he can run forward and do some laming, but doesn't look like there's any boar outside for Lyx. No, he has boar for Mbl. He has both of his boar on the inside. So we'll see deer in the back next to the stone. Both stones in the back. That'll be pretty good for the Mayans. Gold also in the back. Both boar on the inside. This looks like a pretty decent map for the Mayans player. Oops, scout fight. The eagle's going to win that because it's the Dark Age, but Mbl just wants to engage for a bit with the scout so that he can get the sheep away. But that sheep going around the gold, and now he's going to try to get them back, but this sheep's going to split up and go towards that gate. And this sheep, will it make it inside? And looks like it will, so Mbl doing some laming, engaging with the scout fight just long enough to bring the sheep away, but now these deer are on the outside. You might be able to stop, Timotheus might be able to stop Mbl from lowering those deer because that scout's only on 5 HP and the eagle can come in and snipe off that scout in 2 hits. But good job stealing 2 of those sheep there. Still has his sheep back in the back that you'll see because the wall's there. Mbl, meanwhile, this gold's pretty good position in the extra golds. This team got really lucky with the extra golds, getting all 3 of these extra gold piles in the back between them. So this looks like a really good map for them with all of this gold in the back. Both the stones are in the back as well for the Celts, so if they want to get out some Wood Raiders. His stone, his gold's also pretty safe. So it looks like a pretty decent map for Mbl, and Lyx also gold, stone towards the back. Both of his golds are outside the walls, but they are towards the back. Could try to wall up over here and keep all that safe. So looks like a pretty good map for them. And meanwhile down here, last we have red. Looks like his stones are okay, even if this one is kind of awkward and looks like it only has 3 piles. Maybe that's even the extra stone that ended up in his base. I don't see another stone for him some way here. No, looks like he just unfortunately has a bug with 1 less stone pile there. And gold's there out on the front, and another gold out here towards the back. And if we look at the relics, we have another scout fight here. Ooh, Lyx managing to pick off the eagle from yellow because he had lost all that HP, and then looks like he tried to steal the boar but just didn't have the HP to get it back with the scout there. Probably not a good decision to go for the boar steal when he had already engaged in that scout fight up here. But we see 1 relic right outside of yellow's walls, 1 right between Mbl and yellow. This one right next to Mbl, this one inside of Lyx's base, and another one between Melkor and Lyx. And now this boar pretty far away, has no loom. He's going to try to use the scout to block the boar to help the villager get inside, and looks like he'll get in cleanly. And we'll see, where's that villager going? Is he going to block up that hole already? But no, he was walking over there, but now he's going to go chop some wood. Villager gets in safely just as that boar is finishing. And boar is going to path around the town center. Villager still 4 HP, enough to live. And he's going to start pushing in deer. Mbl is coming over. He could even help push in an extra deer if he wants to. Let's see, where does Melkor, where is his scout? Okay, his scout's still alive in the back. And trying to push in some deer as well. As he's adding in his second lumber camp. And this deer managing to come towards the town center and pathing intelligently around the tree. Always nice when deer are well behaved. And more deer just coming in now for Melkor. And if we see these deer were in a very nice location for yellow, but now that he lost his eagle, he's not going to be able to push them in. Mbl asking if he killed the eagle. Yes, Mbl can probably see that corpse there. See, has he scouted that? Yes, he has, so he knows he's killed it. As those deer are coming in, has Mbl been luring any of his deer? No, it doesn't look like his deer are still there. It is safe to lure them now since that eagle died. 5 on berries, only 2 on that lumber camp with 4 farms. And we'll see what he does as the Celts. He is pretty close. Lyx now saying yes, as he figured out what Mbl was asking. And yet, being forced to mill these deer because of that lost scout getting super greedy, trying to steal a boar from all the way across the map. That backfired on him. As Lyx, he has to have seen these sheep next to that gate. Yes, he has. He just hasn't picked them up yet. Not much of a problem because he hasn't needed to take them yet. But should go pick them up soon. Send a villager there. He's probably more worried about getting these deer inside though. Can be quite tricky, especially if you only delete one hole. Could bring it in. Is he going towards the mill? And looks like he's just going to shoot it there by the mill. But Mbl being the first up to the feudal age, going up on 26 population. And Melkor and Lyx right behind him. So he's sending his villagers over to gold now. And as the Spanish, he's going for stone, so it looks like he is going to be making some conquistadors. But he spent so much time luring in those deer that he is going to be a bit late on these sheep. Doesn't matter too much when you're going for a fast castle since you can just chop some wood. But hopefully he'll still be able to click up in time. And now Barrack's coming out for the Hun, so he'll probably be going for some scouts. He only has 2 on gold, so he's probably not going for archers. He'll probably look to put down an archery range and then make some scouts. So he's finishing up the rest of his sheep. And Mayans player also on stone, so we'll probably see a castle and plumes from the Mayans as well. With 3 on gold, since the Mayans... Nope, he even skipped loom as the Mayans. Yeah, so sometimes you'll see arena players, even though they are the Mayans and they start off pop cap, since you can build a house in exactly 25 seconds, and that's how long it takes to research loom. If you build a house with multiple villagers, you can build it faster than 25 seconds, and you can save 50 gold and start making villagers sooner. So sometimes you'll see players skip loom as the Mayans on arena, just because it's safe and you don't need loom anyway. Now we're getting up into the feudal age. We see Mbl going blacksmith and market. Lyx going blacksmith market as well, because we saw him taking stone, and stable blacksmith from our Huns player, as yellow still getting up 4 on stone, a bit behind. And there we go, just now hitting castle, and we'll probably see the blacksmith market for him as well. There's the market, and there's a blacksmith somewhere. Let's check his resources. As the resources he needs to click up, is he going to be building a blacksmith anywhere? I don't see a blacksmith. There we go. Over here building it with 2 villagers. Just put it down late. And Xing... Red's Xing stone for whatever reason. Now, all the players doing the eco upgrades, of course, you do double bit axe and horse collar as you click up. And with Mbl, I put 5 villagers there. Now 4, it looks like those berries are finished just as he clicks up. And looks like they're Xing maybe the golds of Mbl. Showing where they can pressure. And I'm really curious to see if these players will decide to wall between them because they have so much gold. Let's check that scouting real quick. And let's see. Nope, Mbl hasn't seen that. Ooh, and Lyx hasn't scouted that gold either, so I don't know all of that gold's there. Could be risky trying to move out and scout their opponents before they've scouted their own maps. So they're not going to realize they have all of that gold there safe between them. And Mbl just now finishing his berries as he's about to reach the castle age. And we'll see if he just puts down 2 town centers or if he goes for something else, because he's going to need to defend probably against the plumed archers from the Mayans. You know, in the Imperial Age, the Celts should have a pretty good advantage against the Mayans, but nope, going for a monastery and a siege workshop and a single town center. Doesn't yet have the resources for another town center, so we'll see if he looks to get aggressive with those or just tries to defend with it. Meanwhile, down here, Lyx just about to hit castle. And we'll see putting the castle out on the front of his base. There's nothing really exposed by a wall that he would need to protect. But Mbl losing his scout there, getting sniped off by Red Scout. Rather unfortunate because he's about to get out a monk and he could have healed it up. He says he thinks that P2 is going knights. He does have a stable, but he is putting down 2 town centers, so he does have a knight, but they might be a bit more defensive. Mbl seems to think they're going to double him. Just buying 100 food with that extra gold he has and putting up 2 town centers and getting out that mangonel. And where is he going with that mangonel? Doesn't want to run the mangonel into a castle and a knight. But now, yeah, Red is getting out a few knights from one stable, but it looks like he's trying to boom. Looks saying he's going for conquistadors, the unique unit. And Mbl, what is he scouting? He hasn't gone, he sees there's a relic there, but isn't quite moving out for it yet. And only has 1 monk, not right now, making a second. Well, he sees that there's a scout there, so he's not going to be able to take it, has to go back inside. Mbl's not sure if they're making army yet, but he does have quite a few knights even though he is booming. And yeah, so it looks like he was right that they're going to try and double him. Of course, it's probably a good decision since the Celts should be good versus both the Mayans and the Huns in the late game. So we see Petards coming out, so we'll see knights and plumed archers coming into Mbl's base after the Petard bust. But now there's some conquistadors coming in from Lyx trying to get some pressure onto Melkor. And 3 conquistadors and a scout starting to batter down that wall. And as Lyx collects a relic, and he has another relic right here in his base to collect. And now the 2 Petards are coming in, but not much army yet. These are just a few unupgraded knights. And Mbl is pretty well defended. He has a town center on his stone, a town center near his farms, and a town center protecting both a gold and his wood line. So if he can maybe wall up over this part of the map, force the knights underneath these town centers, he'll be pretty safe. And now Petard's coming in. Not going for the larger gate, just going for the single hole. And they're going to run in, and let's see what they find. And Mbl's saying they're going knights. And that mangonel will be taken out by the scout. He needs to send a villager to repair it. But it's not going to get away. No, he's not going to repair it in time, and it's going to go down. And Mbl says he needs help. He doesn't really, I don't think he needs too much help. Could try maybe to wall there, but maybe it's a bit late for that. But with these town centers, he's pretty safe right now. And the army, moving away from that hole, could go and try to wall that up again, force them to make more Petards, but now lots of plumes coming across the map. Some knights in his base, and he's going to try to defend with mangonels and monks. And Lyx, meanwhile, is still on 1 town center, just now adding in the 2nd and 3rd town centers. Looks like Lyx still hasn't scouted all that gold between them. Monk trying to get a conversion, as the town center is going to focus the scout to try and keep the monk alive, but no, it goes down. But it does get 1 conversion. And loses a mangonel, but the town center is able to pick off a couple of knights. And now the conquistadors coming in from Lyx, and they should be able to help finish off this aggression here. As long as they run in the right direction. Not enough plumes here really to take a fight, and Lyx positioning his conks. Unfortunately they are missing, but able to get a few shots as the plumes try to dodge, but trying to split, still getting shot, and they all go down. These 2 knights about to go down as well. And just trying to get a few hits, but Lyx is going to run away and take... Oh, knights dodging. Try to take everything out. And there it goes, finally. We see Mayans now still only on 1 town center, and Huns, though still on 3 town centers, now adding in archery ranges. Look like they're going to go for cavalry archers. Lyx saying that Mbl should wall, and he's sending a villager over to do that now. As more plumes there, but not going to get in with the Mangonel and the Conquistadors there, so Mbl will now again be safe unless they go for more plumed archers. And the Mayans player now has to add in a 2nd town center, but if we look at the Vil counts, he's pretty far behind Mbl, but Lyx was also on 1 town center as well, but has gotten up 2, so he might start to pull away. But the Huns, you see him both the highest score and the highest villager lead because he was on 3 town centers, and he's going for 4 ranges. Look like he's going heavy into cavalry archers, as Mbl is now walled up behind here, not bothering to repair, just building walls behind it. And Mangonel getting a shot on the plumes, trying to snipe the villager, but she'll get away. And Mbl once again safe, has had 3 town centers, now has added in a 4th town center on his stone, and he looks to be in a really safe position now. And looks like Lyx with a monk has finally scouted all of this gold, and he's adding an extra town center there. So Lyx finally knows that they have a ton of gold there. Mbl doesn't yet because Lyx hasn't told him and he doesn't have cartography. And they're not sitting next to each other and they can't look at each other's monitors. So Mbl now starting to catch up in villagers to our Huns player, as looks like he had gone for some palisade walls, but now Lyx is breaking in with Conquistadors. He's Xing that he's going in there. And what did Mbl say? UCP4? Apparently not, but there are some plumes coming in from behind to try to help out. Now with a lot of cavalry archers to deal with the Conquistadors. Conquistadors don't have the 2nd armor upgrade, only at +1. But if they can pick off some vills here, that will give Mbl the chance to continue booming. He needs to be careful that he doesn't get trapped here between the cav archers and the plumes. And cav archers are going to try not to take a fight until the plumes come in. And the plumes are coming in from the rear, but they're all ganged up on top of each other inside those palisade walls. Mbl's asking if he's needed, but doesn't look like he is. They're trying to block the Conquistadors, trying to stop them from leaving, and they will be successful. And Lyx is going to lose a lot of Conquistadors here. Now it looks like he's just going to try to run around and pick off some villagers, but he did manage to cause maybe a tiny bit of idle time, but did take out a stable. Lyx says he's okay. And well, he is okay, might lose that army, but he's really safe and on 4 town centers. And our Mines player here also on 3 town centers with a slight villager lead over Lyx, but we'll probably see Lyx close that gap pretty quickly with all of his town centers. Hun's just now doing handcart, trying to quick wall to keep the Conquistadors out, getting a couple of villager picks, but overall not a very effective raid, getting double teamed there. And what did they just say? Mbl says that he's up, and indeed he is on 4 town centers with the Celts, and now starting to put down some castles and move out with these Mangonels. We'll see what he does with them. If he does get to the castle age first, can get up the Trebs first and start focusing down these castles from the Mines players, stop that plumed archer production. And there we go. Now we see the wall from Lyx. So he's seen this map. He knows there's a lot of gold here, and he knows they need to keep it safe. And once he builds that wall, they will be completely safe. Could even consider going for fortified wall. I don't even know that. I think the Spanish get fortified wall. Do they? They do get fortified wall. Yes. But now a bunch of cavalry archers here, but not going to be able to do too much against the Mangonels, but the Mangonels are running into the castle fire. Looks like one will go down. Plumed archers can come in and pick it off pretty easily, although it will get a shot on the villager. Of course, building an outpost, that will help a lot when microing against the Mangonel. It definitely helps to see Mangonels if you're trying to micro against them, and trying to get shots on the cavalry archers. Looks like they got 1 conversion. My villagers are here to repair, and Mangonels are staying alive for now, getting a few more shots, and not focusing the repairing villagers, just focusing the mangonels. And mangonels now too far away from the villagers, they can't repair anymore. Villager going down, and third mangonel about to go down, but it did get a few good shots on the cav archers, but split there, keeping them away. Now forward town center will help MBL control this gold, as he's coming out with some rams, and he'll need a lot of siege, but plumes and cav archers, they will be countered by these rams and onagers and whatever else MBL decides to add in, probably some halberdier or maybe even some skirmishers as he's the Celts. We'll need to see with our Mines player up to the next stage, and he's putting down a university for ballistics. Looks like he's not going for eagles, and he is indeed going for plumed archers. While our Huns player now adding in more stables and making knights, so he might stop going for the cav archers and start trying to add in cavalier and then paladin, as he's walling up that hole again at the side of his base. But still trying to stop MBL, who has the most villagers now, but we see Lyx has pulled ahead 85 villagers to Timotheus' 70, and Lyx has a very safe base, adding in even a 5th town center in the back on that gold. And now moving out with some mangonels and a couple conquistadors, but needs to be very careful with them. They probably will get picked off by this army here. But now capped rams and onagers for MBL, and he's doing the armor upgrades on his ward raiders. Just has something out in front of his ward raiders, in front of the onagers to protect them, while the onagers can do the work and take out the cav archers. And now adding in forward barracks, so we'll probably see halberdier coming in soon for him. And yeah, this army from Lyx just getting picked off. Looks like ballistics is not yet done for our Mines player here, as those conquistadors are going to dodge all those arrows until they decide to stop dodging, and mangonel's shot missing from the split, and more splits coming in, getting a few plumes, but villagers need to get there to repair, not going to be there in time, but they did get quite a lot of plumed archers. They will get some more here, splitting to dodge some of the shots, but another shot coming in from behind, and Lyx saying, did anybody else say something? Nope, Lyx saying, I guess Lyx must have paused there. But now the cavalier are coming in, and they're going to need to get out some halbs. Just now doing the pikeman upgrade to protect the onagers. For now, they're going to sit underneath the castle and hope that the castle can protect them. But these onagers might go down to the cavalier, as even the wolf getting involved, trying to chase down the cavalier. And onagers going down. But now pikemen are being queued up, and MBL needs to be careful because he's no longer against the cav archers. Now he's against the plumed archers and the paladin, or the soon-to-be paladin. Doesn't look like they're doing the upgrade yet. But Lyx is now coming in with knights. He's doing cavalier. Looks like he's going to go for paladin of his own, as a few of those remaining cav archers come in. MBL's now under quite a bit of pressure here. But with Lyx's army, it looks like he will be able to turn it around, doing conscription. And how many units does he have inside of those barracks? Because Lyx is just streaming in with knights and has quite a few pikemen in those barracks. Could let them out right now to try to trap those cavalier, and yep, they're there. This barracks getting in the way though, although paladin will go down as the pikes can poke them as they try to run out. And now with the rams and the onagers in the back, they should be able to clean up this army. Not enough paladin here really to pick off the siege with all of those soon-to-be halbs, or I guess he's not soon-to-be because he's not doing the research yet and doesn't have the gold for it. But he will need to try to keep that castle alive, as he really wants to try and control that gold. Pikemen now moving forward, getting picked off by the plumes. Looks like the cavalier are getting a bit trapped between those barracks, as now the wolf decides to go after them, and they're going to run around the back, and looks like they're going to just try to snipe that treb, but they will run underneath two castles, and there's another treb coming out behind that, but that will go down, and might not be able to pick off this treb though. He's going to have to run away just to keep those units alive as the paladin upgrade is coming in. But Lyx now does have a sizable eco, has 5 stables for producing those paladin, and even building some more. He's pretty much fully boomed at this point, just needs to add in a few more villagers to maintain that production, and MBL is on 150 villagers, just building up, getting his upgrades, putting some more castles in the back. pretty much can see that this castle's going to go down and that he's lost this forward, so he stopped building there, and he's just trying to regroup behind it, adding in more barracks at home. But unfortunately hasn't moved out to start taking any more gold yet. Probably should start taking this gold and even try to take this extra gold as well, just so that he doesn't run out, since this gold on the front is being denied. I'm not sure what he's Xing right now. Oh, I guess he wants Mbl to delete that part of the wall and delete those walls as well so they can start trading. And that's going to allow him to better position his Cavalier, have him run into Mbl's base. That Paladin upgrade just takes so long, and Xing for markets, saying he's building his markets down here. Mbl saying he's putting his market there. And Mbl has to run these villagers inside. He has like 154 villagers, doesn't really matter too much if he loses a few. But they're playing really defensive right now, just trying to have more resources at this point with a larger economy with all those villagers. That's compared to only 120 for the Huns player, which is a good number of villagers. But you gotta make sure that you're using your army effectively if you have fewer villagers. And now they have managed to push Mbl away and start taking this gold from him. But now this army is just standing behind a wall, and Lyx can just wall up behind it and trap it with his own Paladin, as his units are now coming in from behind. Just doesn't have the final attack upgrade on them. But the Trebs are coming in. We'll see what they do with those Trebs. It looks like they probably could have taken that fight, but probably wanted to wait for the Plumed Archers to get in position, but now they're going to miss their opportunity to fight those Paladin. As Mbl is trying to add in some more siege workshops down here, adding another gate in his base to allow Lyx to come out, and now they've started trading. We are seeing the markets now going up for red and yellow, so they're going to start trading on their side as well. And now map control firmly in favor of red and yellow, but this part of the map really isn't as important since the players have all of the gold here and they have a safe trade line. So this map's really working out well for them, as Lyx is able to take all of this gold, Mbl even is able to take it too, and even though he's denied this gold on the front and this gold over here, doesn't matter too much. But now putting a university in the front, maybe he wants, I see he really does want to do siege engineers and potentially chemistry. But it looks like he's just going to lose this castle on the front there. Ward Raiders, of course, not as important when your ally does have Paladin, but still would be nice if the other team decides to add in some Halberdier. And now Trebuchet is coming in, taking out that castle, taking out some of these stables, but it's going to take them a really long time to get through this wall. This is a double layer of fortified wall that's 6,000 HP between those two pieces of wall, and looks like the Trebs are going down. Siege Onager has been finished for Mbl, but he's not going to get a shot as the Paladin can pick them off. But a Huns player losing a lot of Paladin to all of those Halberdier. And remember, this team also has Spanish trade, so the longer the game goes on, the better they're going to be economy-wise, because they're going to be getting more gold. Saying that, Lyx, of course, is building lots of houses right in the middle of their trade line. And Mbl does have only a single market. But they're going to need to do something to take out these plumes. They're going to need to get these siege onagers in position to do a good shot. Mbl just now doing siege onagers to improve, or just now doing siege engineers to improve his onagers, as this team is also going for a team wall to keep their trade line safe. Of course, you don't want those trade carts running outside of your walls either. You want to keep them safe, but now sometimes they just decide that instead of going directly from point A to point B, they're going to go all the way around your walls. And might want to consider maybe even just replacing that gate with some stone wall just so they don't decide to path there. Or even locking this gate, maybe deleting part of this wall too. But Siege Onagers getting a shot on a few plumes, but not really that much. There's a lot of dead bodies over here, a lot of dead Paladin, as these trade carts also decide they want to get involved in the fight. Paladin coming up here, just seeing if they can pick off the Siege Onagers, but not going to happen with all those halves in front of them. Mbl, could that one go down? No. Really should repair it with that villager if he's paying attention. But now these plumes, a bit out of position, Paladin can chase them down, but it looks like they will get away, as more plumes are coming up from the bottom, and Lyx is going to have to run back. And MBL just now making some trade cards. Ooh, and Siege Onagers moving forward. Can they get a shot? Killing one plume, not really getting much there, and might pick off a couple more, but moving very far forward, and this time they will indeed get picked off by the Paladin. And one more shot, not going to do anything. Lions needing to be so careful with their plumed archers just to keep them alive with all the Siege Onagers nearby. And Halberdier coming forward, but being forced back as more Siege Onagers are coming out from MBL. And we do indeed want to see a big Siege Onager shot. He's starting to move in at the top with some rams, take out this castle, try to take control of this gold again. And all the plumes are not in position to defend there. And will he have a Siege Onager in position to deal with the plumes? Moving his halbs up there, we'll get a shot on the Paladin. As these Paladin are moving up now with two separate groups of plumes, as they have to run underneath the castles to keep them safe. And they have to run inside the walls, but these gold villagers now will go down to the Paladin. Onagers, though, getting a bit too close to the castles, will get picked off for nothing, aren't going to get off a shot. Will kill a few villagers, though. This castle has gone down, the rams are getting cleaned up, and plumes are finally getting surrounded by the Paladin. But still, they're so fast, able to run away. As MBL finally getting control of this gold, has some more Siege Onagers coming out at the top, and more rams coming at the bottom. These villagers just running to their deaths into a field of Paladin. Not sure where they're going, but Onagers unfortunately out of position, not by the Halberdier, and a few spare Paladin will be able to pick them off. As these villagers are trying to build a mining camp on this gold, but that's pretty dangerous with all these Paladin nearby. As this Onager, will it go down? And looks like it will. MBL wasting a lot of siege there just to a few Strange Paladin. Will lose that ram as well. And Lyx, not here to defend it. And now barracks are starting to come up from the Mines player. Looks like he might be trying to transition into Eagles, or maybe even Halberdier to deal with the Paladin. Halberdier would probably be a good choice so they don't cost him gold. But now they're pushing in at the front of this base, trying to deny what's left of that gold. But lots of plumes are able just to stand inside of that gate and fire at the rams. We'll be pretty safe since the Paladin can't get us around next to those two castles, but lots of siege rams coming in. Celtic siege rams with 405 HP. Coming in, trying to take out the barracks that the Mayans had been trying to use to wall, as now they're raiding down here. More Paladin coming in from the Spanish players. And scores have not yet flipped, but it does look like Mbl and Lyx are in firm control of this game. Another castle going down from the Mayans, and once the Mayans start to lose their castles, they lose their plumed archer production, they become a lot weaker. And now look at all of these rams just coming forward, being protected by these paladins and a few halberdiers, but super effective at going through these walls. As this double layer of stone wall is able to keep Lyx safe from the trebuchets, but you can't stone wall against, I don't know how many this is, like 10, 15 rams. Even more coming in at the top, taking out the barracks now, as they're just desperately trying to add in halberdiers. Finally, they've taken the score lead. MBL Xing those idle paladin there. And all of these houses still right in the middle of their trade line. All of these stables, houses. At this point, you want to start deleting those buildings, building your stables more forward, with your houses in a more out-of-the-way location so that you don't block the trade. But doesn't really matter now, as this looks pretty much over, as yellow not really able to hold this push any longer, as the rams are coming in and taking out all of these forward buildings, killing all of those barracks, pushing in, getting into the trade line now. They're going to start losing trade carts, and it's going to be such a big blow to their economy, since these trade carts So expensive as well, 50 gold each. And trade carts going down, barracks going down, blacksmith going down, our mines player down to, looks like his last 2 castles. It's going to stop all of his plumed archer production as more and more paladin just keep streaming into this base. Looks now selling some wood, looks like he's trying to get some more gold, and the plumed archers have to retreat, but now his town center is going down. Desperately, he's trying to wall in his castle to try to keep it safe from these rams, but they will get through those walls. They will take down that castle. As this castle here about to go down, and our mines player can do nothing but add in more barracks as he tries in vain to stop this push. Treadmill train even coming in for Mbl. And only a single castle left with a bunch of stone walls around it, but the rams are just going around the walls. And it looks like they're trying to fight with villagers, but they are calling the GG. Here we go. All of these siege rams being the final blow they needed to push in, and taking really good advantage of their map. Taking all of that gold in the back, that really helped them out. They were behind a bit, getting pushed off this gold in the beginning of the fight, but at the end, their civ advantage, really strong, allowed them to push in. And let's go take a look at the achievements. Mbl and Lyx taking that game. You see Mbl did lose a lot of units there, but in the end, didn't matter. So we see Mbl getting the first to each age, and with a huge number of villagers, 159 villagers. That's a lot. And we'll move into Game 3 next. That's going to be Mirror, Goths, and Vikings for both players, as the series is now tied at 1-1. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next game.